right, friends, this is your 5 minute warning. We're going to get started in 5 minutes. So if there's anyone else that you'd like to have on this call, now's the time to send the link, the same link that you clicked on to join the meeting here today. Send it to that person that you love, that you want to be here. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I put the link to Zoom in the chat on YouTube. We've got a handful of people there right now. If you want to come over to Zoom, the best chat experience and live experience is going to be here on Zoom. So I recommend that. And grab a piece of paper and a pencil to take notes, maybe a beverage so that you can focus with us. We will be done in under 1 hour with this presentation, and we'll dive in here in 5 minutes. See you guys soon. Welcome, welcome out, my friends. Good evening or good morning for our Australian friends. Super excited to be with all of you here today. Look at this. We're just getting started. I like to start punctually on time to honor those of you that showed up here on time. We've got a handful of people over on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, I recommend jumping over here to Zoom if possible so that you can have the full experience with us live. A special welcome to all of those who are joining us for the first time to get this introduction to the doTERRA business opportunity. It's always fun to see where we have people coming in from. So put it in the chat. If you haven't found the chat yet, you're going to want to watch the chat as we go through this presentation. We've got Missy from Pennsylvania. We've got Carly from Oregon. We've got Texas in the house, North Carolina, Missouri, Canada, Argentina, Lola. Way to be here. Glad to have you here. We've got Toronto, Australia. Amazing. What a fun call. Another North Carolina, Tennessee, Arizona, Florida, Quebec, China. Paulette's in the house, my friends. Our amazing leader in China. Tennessee, Virginia, another Argentinian. Good to have you. Vancouver. I love it, guys. How fun is this? Savannah, Illinois. We are a global group, and we definitely have great representation all across the United States of America, right? And Canada. Can't leave out our Canadians. Good to be with here. Good to be here with all of you. So we're gonna dive in. I'd like to know in the chat. Well, actually, the way I like to typically start off these calls is I love to anchor every call into like a space of gratitude where we come into the call feeling gratitude. I've found that in my life, uh, gratitude always precedes all of the greatest blessings of my life, like abundance and good relationships. Everything stems from starting out from a place of gratitude. And so I want to encourage you here tonight. I'm going to turn down this light a little bit that's blinding me. So I want to encourage you right now to send a message to the person that invited you to be on this call today and thank them. Thank them for the opportunity and the invite. Um, whether you're someone who's already a part of doTERRA, for those of you who already know about our company and our brand and work with this amazing company, you're going to learn here tonight how to better present about the opportunity or get some unique ideas from our experience. And if you're someone who's brand new here today, I believe this information has the ability and the power to absolutely change your life the way that it's changed mine and the way that you're going to see it's changed so many lives of those that are in the chat here with us tonight. So send a message of gratitude to the person that invited you here today, and we're going to start from that space. Yeah, you can put it in the chat. You can send it privately to them in WhatsApp or Messenger or wherever you communicate with that person. Now, let me briefly introduce myself. I am not an important part of this presentation. Honestly, I'm just the person that's delivering the information. So I'm not going to talk very much about our story, but I think it's sufficient to say that my wife and I, Shantae, we have spent the last 13 years of our lives, literally more than a third of my life, I've dedicated towards sharing the message of the products and the opportunity and the brand that is doTERRA that you're about to dive into and learn a little bit more about tonight. And it's been one of the greatest honors of my life. I'm pretty convinced that by the end of this presentation, you are going to want to step in and be a part of what we're talking about here tonight. But everything started because this beautiful woman, my wife, Shantae, she was going through one of the hardest emotional times of her life. And I think you'd agree with me. It's interesting how many times some of the most difficult things that we go through can lead us into having the best message. Like we say, our mess becomes our message, or our biggest problem solved become our biggest method of serving other people. And when she was going through a really dark time living in Taiwan and struggling emotionally, a friend introduced her to three essential oils. And this friend said, "Hey, I have an essential oil from this company, doTERRA, that has helped me dramatically with my digestive system. And I hear they help with emotions too. Why don't you try them?" And so Shantae, my wife, she started using these three bottles of essential oil. Balance she would apply in the morning to her chest and breathe it in. And then during the day, anytime she felt sadness or down, she would breathe in citrus bliss. And then at night, she would use serenity to sleep well and calm her mind. And these three products, they helped her so much that when she came back to Utah, where we're from, she said, "You know what? I want to be a part of this amazing company that is doTERRA." And so for most people, the products really that we represent really are a bridge into the opportunity. So if just to know, if you've had an amazing result personally already with the doTERRA product, put in the chat me or I so that I can see who has already had an amazing experience with these products. And we're going to talk and give everyone here who's here a chance to kind of share some of those experiences. Okay, so see that? Me. So it's fun to see 13 years as well. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me introduce you briefly to this company, doTERRA. First of all, if you decide to partner with us, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like here tonight. If you decide to partner with us, you're really partnering with the infrastructure of a multi-billion-dollar company. We have created one of the strongest wellness revolutions on the planet with this company, doTERRA, solving major problems in people's lives. And anytime you analyze an opportunity, obviously I'm going to share with you the things that resonate the most with me and that I think are important when analyzing an opportunity. One of those is I want to know that there's a true impact happening behind the company. I want to know that it's stable. I want to know that it's strong. And so I share all of these numbers and the information that we're about to go through. I share with you because I want you to have the full context. And different parts of this presentation are going to be more important to different people that are here. So I want to pitch to you that doTERRA really is the perfect business. And before I share with you why I believe that that's the case, I'm curious, how would you describe the perfect business? Like, what would the perfect business look like for you in your life right now? What would be some of the characteristics? What would be some of the benefits? Yeah, go ahead and start putting it in the chat, and I'd love to see some answers. So Lisa said time freedom. Okay, Lola said freedom. That's always a favorite word, right? Freedom. Like we just are against bondage as humans. We're not made for bondage, right? Time and financial freedom, consistent income. I agree. Flexibility. That's a good one. That's a good one. Something I love and enjoy. Yeah, you have to enjoy the work that you do, right? I believe that. Impact. Have a deep impact. We're going to talk a lot about impact here today. Pay for your brand new home. Absolutely. Let's do it. Helping others. Yes, definitely flexibility. Cool. So it sounds like you guys prioritize a lot of the same things that I do. In fact, I want to talk about this blend that this opportunity brings of these three aspects. One is income. Any business, if you're going to start a business, the idea is not to lose money, right? The idea is to be profitable. And so we're going to talk about how this is an amazing income opportunity and really very dramatically different than what most people traditionally do. I would say that the more that the world is shifting, you guys feel the shift. I'm sure you feel if you don't have anxiety in yourself about the way that the world is shifting, I'm sure you feel it in the air that the people around you are breathing. Like you can hear it in their tone of voice. People are worried about AI. People are worried about the future of their careers or their jobs. People are worried about inflation and the way that anyway, money is extremely important, and being able to earn an income that's dynamic, that's sustainable, and that's scalable is really, really important, right? The next is lifestyle. I saw so many comments here in the chat about people who they prioritize lifestyle, right? Like the flexibility is extremely important and so many other things. We're going to talk about that here today. And the third thing we're going to talk about, which really we're going to start our conversation and end our conversation starting talking about impact. I believe that there's no it's not worth spending the majority or a large amount of your time on something that's not going to have a profound impact and lift humanity. I feel like we have that in our DNA as humans. Like, put in the chat here below, say I if you feel a desire to be a part of something bigger than you and serve humanity on a deep level. I think that that's something that resonates inside of all humans, right? So that's important. Now, what I've found is that when you look at the world today, I've been talking a lot today, so I'm going to rely on my water. Um, I found that when you look at the world today and opportunities, typically you can absolutely find opportunities that are a great income opportunity. Um, you can find opportunities that are a great lifestyle and ones that have a deep impact. But rarely do you find a balance between these three things in one opportunity. And that's what I'd like to pitch to you today is how doTERRA really is the perfect blend of these three things, either for someone that just wants to do it part-time and round out these other categories of their life, or for those who want to do it full-time. We have people that come into doTERRA just as a hobby to earn an extra income. And we have people that come in looking to really do this as a professional and earn an extraordinary income. And both are totally viable opportunities and possibilities for you. So, as an example of these three things, guys, I have friends who are lawyers who work in and they go to court regularly, and it's a high stress environment. They work extremely long hours, but they earn a great income. I have doctors and friends who are in all different careers who have great incomes, but typically, not always, but typically, their lifestyle suffers in order to earn that extraordinary income. Then I have friends who have a deep impact in the world that work for charities or different organizations and companies that are impacting positively the world. However, their lifestyle or their income suffer. And so we're going to show you how doTERRA really can be the perfect blend of these three things. Wendy, I did too. I joined doTERRA for better health. That's the first reason why I got started. And that's the first reason we're going to talk about here today. We're going to talk about impact and the way that we impact our own health and other people's health through this company and these products. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the financial side, but you can't talk about a business without obviously spending a lot of time talking about the products that you're representing. I think that that's absolutely the most important part of any opportunity. So, first of all, wellness is a category that just continues to thrive. So, where so many jobs and so many industries are falling away in the world right now, healthcare and wellness is on the rise. Okay. We are now spending just under $2 trillion globally on wellness as consumers and customers. And what are the biggest needs inside the wellness category? Well, 50% of humans say that they're making gut health a higher and higher priority. So, this is the first one I'll mention. We have so many issues today with our food, with processed foods and things like that, that not only do we need to take care of our digestive systems to better absorb the nutrients that are so scarce in the food that we eat, but many of the processed foods, sugars, and things like that are literally stripping the life out of one of the most important aspects of your body, right? So we have several products, and I'm not going to go deep here today, but I like to start with this product because it's the one that transformed my life personally. My wife, who was my fiance at the time, brought me a little sample bottle of Digesten or Zengest, depending on what country you live in. And she told me to put a drop under my tongue and put a drop on my stomach. And within a couple weeks, I felt balanced from a digestive issue that I had struggled with for almost a decade of my life. So if anyone's had a positive result with this product, I'd love to see you put it in the chat. We also have our amazing PB Assist and PB Restore products, depending on the market that you're in. And it's interesting that this category, guys, of digestive health, even for our company in 2018, it was about 1 to 2%, under 2% of our global sales. And now it's skyrocketed up to like 5% of this multi-billion dollar company's sales. That's really, really significant. And if you look at this trend, it's likely that in the next year or two, our digestive products will represent, up to 10% of this $2 billion company. That's hundreds of millions of dollars just from selling these digestive products. Okay. So I ask you, when you look at problems in the world and when you look at a way to make money, really the way that we earn an income is by solving problems, no matter what you do. And you can either to earn a great income, you can solve small problems for a large group of people, or you can solve big problems for a small group of people. That's really common. A doctor is a good example of that. But if you want to earn a great income and have an unlimited income potential, you want to find a way to help a large group of people with big problems that they have. So if 50% of humanity is saying that digestive issues is their biggest health concern and something that's going to be a big priority for them moving forward, then I think we should pay attention to that, right? And if you know about solutions, you can be the one that benefits as you help them benefit from these products. Now, the second highest priority that people talk about, and really the one that's the largest unmet need, okay? This is the largest unmet need where people say, I'm just not living my best. It's sleep, okay? And you guys know if you've ever struggled with sleep, who has struggled with sleep? Tell me in the chat if you currently struggle or if you have struggled in the past with sleep, okay? And I love keep all of those stories going in the chat. Make sure you're reading those as you're watching this presentation. I assume you guys can multitask because they're powerful, powerful stories. Okay, so Leanne or uh, Loreni, oops, I need to pronounce your name right, has struggled with sleep. Okay, Pam has struggled with sleep. Jenica has struggled. Okay, Lisa. Okay, so a lot of people have struggled with this in the past, and it's a big, big issue. We have this amazing Serenity line, which includes a supplement and includes the stick that you can rub on your skin. It includes the Serenity. I love to put a drop of Serenity on my pillowcase and I breathe it in deeply for about a minute before I go to bed every single night. And it helps you to sleep faster and to sleep deeper. Put your experience in the chat if you've had a positive experience using Serenity products, or we also have cedarwood and vetiver and so many amazing essential oils that people use. My wife is a vetiver addict. Okay, she uses it every single night to sleep, and it's amazing. So this is a huge unmet need that we bring the solution for. We are ahead of these trends in so many ways. Longevity is another category that 70% of people in the UK and the US, and even more in China, are spending more time and money on this category. If you haven't been introduced yet, you're going to want to sit down with the person that invited you to this call and have them do a detailed explanation of our longevity products. This collagen that's 70% tripeptides, freeze-dried formula, so that when it hits the water, you get the full life of the product instead of the liquid forms or pill forms and powder forms that so many people sell, where it's literally dying as it sits in the packaging. Ours, you get the whole life of it. We have the Amazing Assist product, which helps to lower and balance blood sugar levels, which helps with longevity and also weight management. We have the MetaPower soft gels, which help to inhibit the maturation of fat cells in the body. So they help to literally avoid the growing of your fat cells, which is pretty significant. We've got some amazing studies on that. So I recommend looking at this, but just ask yourself, okay, do I know anyone that has digestive issues? Do I know anyone that doesn't sleep well? Do I know anyone that wants to live longer and feel better the longer as they live longer? Do I know anyone who wants to manage weight better? Do I know anyone who would like to inhibit fat cell maturation in the body? Right? I think you do. Okay. Do I know anybody who's not getting from their food the nutrition that they need to live an optimal life? This foundational product line right here, our VMG or our Lifelong Vitality Pack, which are our other supplements, along with our E Omega product, are some of our top sellers and top retention products that people come back to buy over and over and over and over again because they feel so much more energy and vitality just by having that core nutrition in place. So this is obviously a very, very important thing. All of us know that our food has, I don't know, maybe a fifth of the nutrition that it used to have 50 years ago, maybe a tenth. I don't even know what the latest numbers are, but it's pretty bad. So people need nutrition. And then the last category that we serve people with, and if you've had positive experiences, keep putting them in the chat. I'm loving seeing all of these amazing stories. It's so fun. And the essential oils are our biggest secret to success. Okay. 70% of the sales of this multi-billion-dollar company come from the essential oils globally. We have essential oils that can help manage and balance every body system that you can possibly site. Like if you say, I need hormonal health, or I need my endocannabinoid system to be supported, if I need my digestive system supported, I need something for immune system, I need something for decreasing inflammation in the body. Like there's no issue that you can bring to the table that we do not have an essential oil that helps to support the body in that issue, okay, with that body system. So I would love to see in the chat, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the essential oils here, but put in the chat if you've personally had an amazing success story with essential oils yourself or with one of your customers. I'd love to see that in the chat, so that we can just give people all of the ideas for different ways that these can benefit and are benefiting our existing customers. Okay. And you guys are going to be blown away. Some of the stories, honestly, you're gonna be a little bit skeptical on this. You're going to be like, wow, I can't believe that these kinds of stories are happening. But you're only skeptical, like I was skeptical, until you start using them. Okay. Um, Now, we are, just to clarify, we are the only certified pure tested grade essential oils in the world. What this means is that if you go and buy a product from Amazon or any other essential oil retailer, studies have shown, like the APRC study, that only three companies consistently have had pure essential oils. doTERRA obviously is one of those three. One of these three is actually out of business since they did this report, and the other one is only open in a few countries and is more expensive than ours. So we really are the best option for essential oils in the world. And it's really important, that consistently pure part. Like think about that 47 of the top selling essential oil companies, when their oils were tested, were not consistently pure. Let me tell you why that is a tragedy. And really, honestly, I think it's criminal. Um, Roseman University did this study proving the oil effect, that yes, essential oils help with cell growth, rejuvenation, metabolic health. They're anti-inflammatory. They support the immune system. But if you look at the last point of this study here in the summary, when they looked at competitors' essential oils, they actually had minimal to opposite cellular signaling effects. What does that mean? That means that, imagine you bought a frankincense essential oil from Amazon or from Walmart, and you start using it to reduce inflammation. Well, it's actually going to cause inflammation, or at minimum have a neutral effect. Okay. And so imagine taking something that you think is going to support your immune system, but it does the opposite. That's what most people are living with essential oils. And that includes, from all of the oils that they're using synthetically in their homes, in cleaning products or in candles and things like that. And so it's a huge opportunity for you to be able to come into doTERRA and teach people and educate people about how all of these chemicals are disrupting their endocrine systems, how the products that they're currently using are having a negative effect on all of these categories listed, and many, many more. And then you can help them bridge them into a pure lifestyle. Now, there's a reason why. This is the reason why there are more doctors, more hospitals, more clinics and health professionals that are using our brand than any other brand in the world. It's the reason we're the largest essential oil company in the world, is because of this level of trust in purity and the transparency that we have with every single product. You can literally look up every single chemical components and in every bottle of essential oil that you purchase on one of our websites. Okay. Um, all right. So when it comes to impact, that's our first category. I would ask, can you impact people deeper than their cells? Like, it is so meaningful when you look at the chat here below and you see all of the testimonials that people have. Uh, I'm so sorry for Nancy, says on YouTube that the Zoom link wasn't working. Try it again. You should be able to get in here. Okay. Um, when you look at these testimonials, I want you to think, when you're analyzing a business, don't only look at the financial revenue. Think about the emotional revenue. Like, think about the emotional revenue. If you're the person that provided and introduced the people that are in this chat to the essential oils or to these supplements, and you help someone, achieve this result and have this level of gratitude, how is that going to feel for you? Like, it's an amazing feeling. I'll tell you, so many people in the chat could probably tell you stories of times that they've literally cried because someone has come to them in such an intense state of gratitude, just for them educating them on these amazing products. So that's the first part of impact I wanted to talk about today. It These products work so well that instead of the average retention out there, which is 15 to 20% of customers coming back to order for a second time, we have a 75% annual retention. So if you bring in 10 customers over the course of, or if you bring in 10 customers today, over the course of the next year, at least 75% of those customers are going to be continuously ordering on a regular basis. Okay. That's extremely powerful, especially when you realize that every purchase that every customer you ever refer, you will earn a commission for the rest of your life on every purchase that they make. Okay. doTERRA will honor the fact that you referred that customer for life and really beyond your life, as we're going to talk about here in a minute. So, that's the first level of impact. There's a reason why we have become a $2 billion wellness revolution that is just exploding around the world right now. And we want you to join in this amazing momentum that we're seeing. The second category is that I want to talk about is lifestyle. Lifestyle is very important. We saw in the chat that the majority of you, when you were describing the ideal business, the majority of you didn't talk about a certain financial figure that you'd like to earn, or didn't talk about, you really talked about lifestyle things. And so I'm so tempted. I wish I could like read all the comments in the chat because I know it's amazing, but I'm just going to keep going and trust that you guys are paying attention in there. Okay, so lifestyle for me, it's very important that I have enough time to spend with my family, and even that my family can participate in my business in many ways. Like I told the story earlier today, but I have a 9-year-old daughter who came to me and said, "Dad, I really want a laptop so that I can write a book." And I said, "Okay, how would you like to earn money for your laptop?" And she said, "Well, I know that you make a lot of money selling doTERRA products. Do you think I could sell doTERRA products?" And I said, "Sure." So we gave her a wagon. She loaded it up with products. And guess what? In 2 afternoons, she made a couple $100 and enough to buy her laptop. Okay. That's amazing. If a 9-year-old can go door to door and sell these products successfully, I think that it's an even bigger opportunity for you who would know how to really educate people on the benefits, right? So a business that you can involve your family, that you can spend more time with your family. Location independence. We've had the privilege as a family of living for 3 months in Brazil twice, 3 months in Mexico, spending a month in India, because we built this business that we can go anywhere in the world, and we could even take a month off and our income continues to grow. And so that location independence, there's people on this call that I'm sure live in the country and would love to move to the big city. There's people that live in a big city that would love to move to the country. Guess what? You have so much location independence when you start to build this business. The work amount. Luckily here, you don't have a boss. We like to say that we are leaders of an army of volunteers. Okay. Every person that joins is a volunteer. You get to choose to work however much you want. And obviously the more ambitious you are with the results that you'd like to see, the more time you should put in. But no one here is going to dictate, hey, you need to show up this time to this time or work for this amount of time. Nope. A lot of people, they will work really hard for a season and then they'll take a season off, or, there's just so much flexibility with it. Community and friends is one of the biggest benefits that I've experienced personally. I love being a part of a group of people that think and see the world in a similar way, that want to uplift others and serve the world on a big scale. So we have amazing relationships that we've built, and this will also benefit, this community will benefit your life in other ways. Like, for example, I've had multiple realtor friends that have joined us in the business over time. And as soon as they step into this doTERRA community, they start to sell twice as many homes because there's this huge community that wants to support them immediately because we're all committed to a similar cause. And that community effect is really powerful. So I also have had a restaurant owner on our team where all of a sudden everyone on our team wanted to bring people to that restaurant when they're teaching them about our products, because then they could say, "Oh, look, this restaurant owner is a part of this amazing company, doTERRA." And so no matter what you do as your career today, when you insert yourself into a very large community that wants to support you in your life, it's going to benefit whatever it is that you're doing. Free travel, this is always one of my favorites to highlight. So those of you who are here live with us, I want to see in the chat right now, what is just one or two trips that you've been to for free, paid for by the doTERRA opportunity? Okay, Jenica said Costa Rica, so fun. Bulgaria, Maui, amazing. Dominican Republic, oh, going there in 2 weeks, amazing. Jamaica, Hawaii, cruise, Portland, Oregon, Nepal, look at that, amazing. Punta Cana, Bulgaria in June, so good. Kenya, yeah, my wife and I have had the opportunity to go on literally two or three paid for trips by doTERRA every single year now for a decade. That's pretty wild. We've been on more than 30 free trips with this company throughout our time, and it's pretty amazing. Okay, time freedom. Time freedom is a little bit different than everything else we've talked about here today, because I see time freedom as not only the ability to choose what you do with your time, but the ability to scale time across building a team. And so, in the corporate world, you guys know you'll have a VP of sales typically, and then you'll have your supervisors, and then your managers, and then you'll have all your salespeople. And the VP of sales, he earns a commission. He earns an override on the total sales that his team is producing because he's training them and leading them and supporting them. Here, instead of just having one VP of sales, every single person that joins our company becomes that VP of sales. And as you train your team, as you support your team, you're going to benefit from the total production and the total time investment of that entire team that you're building. And we're going to talk more about how that works here in a minute. So we've talked about impact part one and lifestyle. Now let's go into income. And if you don't love money, okay, then and if you don't want more money in your life, then you're not going to create it. Okay. And I'm not saying that money is above all things. In fact, money, in my experience, is just a multiplier and it's a magnifier. If you are a good person, one of my biggest goals for doing this business, honestly, is to see more money put in the hands of good people. Like there's so many bad people in the world that have so much money. I think we need more good people having a lot of money that they can go and utilize to create more good in the world. Don't you agree? So let's talk about income. The first thing that's beautiful about this income opportunity is your ability to scale your income over time. This is literally a monthly screenshot of our primary earnings. My wife and I, over the course of from the month we started, which you can't even see, up through our most recent rank advancement with doTERRA. And you can see there's ups and downs, different seasons. You can see a year of decline here or there. But over the long term, you're able to create something scalable that I don't think you can really do in very many places, right? And if you guys, those of you who are already with doTERRA, look at these BOGO presidential months right here. Okay, that's called a BOGO presidential. You'll know that vernacular. Okay, but if you work in a traditional job environment, when when could you go to your boss and say, "Hey, boss, I'd like you to 10x my salary next week or next month or even next year?" It's not likely going to happen. He'll probably, what would he say? What would he say if you said, "Hey, boss, I'd like you to 10x my income"? Unless you're in a sales environment, it's not very likely. Okay. Here, if any person in doTERRA comes to me and says, "Matt, I would like to 10x my income," I can give you a step-by-step roadmap for what you would need to do to make that happen. Okay. All right. So let's break down how the income actually works. This is the biggest kind of mystery that people ask is how does it work? We really get paid for three different activities inside the doTERRA opportunity. The first is acquisition. So anytime you acquire a new customer, let's say your neighbor is walking in front of your house and you invite them in to chat really quick, and he sees that there's a diffuser right there in the entryway of your home, and there are oils being diffused. So he comes into your home and he says, "What's that smell? That's amazing." You can say, "Well, it doesn't just smell amazing, it's also therapeutic. Let me tell you about the benefits." And he leaves your house saying, "You know what? I'd love to buy myself a diffuser and some oils." Guess what? You just send him a referral link. he purchases, and you have acquired a new customer. Every time you acquire a new customer or distributor, you will earn a commission. Okay. Then we have our retention bonuses, which I'll break down for you here on this call. But like I said previously, doTERRA will honor the fact that you referred a customer for the rest of your life and pay you a commission every time that customer reorders. And it's really beyond your life. It's beyond the grave because you can pass your doTERRA account onto your children so that the people that you referred in life, if they continue to order, your kids will continue to get paid. It's really a legacy income that you're able to build. Now, um, retention, you have to take care of your customers, right? There are things that you need to do to help encourage them to keep ordering, but the products themselves in doTERRA do the heavy lifting more than any other company I've ever seen. And then the third thing we get paid for is duplication. So just like that example of the executive that I mentioned, if you build a team of people and you train them and support them and serve them and help them create success, you're going to earn a small percentage on the total sales of the team that the team is producing. Okay. Let me break down for you kind of a summary of how this works. So you become what we call an elite leader in doTERRA when your team together creates 3,000 in customer purchases in a single month. Okay. Our average earnings for an elite is 400 to 500 US dollars. If you live in a different country, you're going to want to get the specific numbers for your market, and we can provide that for you after this call. But we're just going to keep it simple and keep it in US dollars here tonight. Then once your team is doing 5,000 in sales, guess what? That's an average of $1,000 a month in monthly income. And if you become really good at training people, supporting them and helping them learn different tactics and ways that they can go out and bring in new customers and retain those customers, you're going to be able to help 3 people reach the level of elite. So they're each doing 3,000 in sales, and that jumps your income from 1,000 all the way up to 3,000 a month. Now, what is this range we're talking about here? This range is the first time you hit a silver, typically you're going to be at that lower end. And then as your organization matures and your sales increase, you can get to that higher end of this average. Okay. Now I want to know, do we have any elites in the house here today? Is this possible? Has anyone achieved elite, premier, silver, gold? Tell me in the chat and we'll get to the diamonds here in a minute. Okay. We've got gold. Lisa's a gold. Nancy's an elite. Oh, it's going too fast. Beverly's an elite. Jenica's a platinum. Kelly. Okay, I got to slow this chat down. Amy's a premier. Sophia's a silver. Wendy's a premier. Paula's a gold. Christina's a gold. Amazing. Amazing. Lynn's a silver. So it's not a small number of people that have achieved this. In fact, just in our organization, we've helped almost 5,000 people reach this level of premier or higher. That's almost 5,000 people that have earned an average of $1,000 in a month. That's pretty amazing. So, and in the company, it's tens of thousands, right? We actually, if you look down here at the level of diamond, this is someone who has trained 4 people to reach the level of silver or above. This is really that freedom level that we help people march to. It takes time for my wife and I. It was over 5 years for us to achieve this. We started at 22 years old. So by the time we were 27, we had reached the level of diamond, and it totally transformed our life. And we've never stopped, and we've gone now past presidential diamond. But is there anyone here who's diamond or above in the chat? Let me know. Yep, Sandy's a diamond. Cheryl's a diamond. Carla's a diamond. Pam's a diamond. Look at that. Carly's a diamond. Dr. Janet Rourke is a brand new diamond. Amazing. Okay. So it's not a small number. Thousands of people in doTERRA have reached this level of diamond. I think if thousands of people have done it, that's proof that you can do it too. You can do it too. All right. Okay. Let me clear off the screen here. Now, let me break down for you the specific bonuses. And this is just a summary. If you want to understand this in depth even more, get with the person that invited you to this call after and ask them to clarify and help you get really clear on how the business works. Okay. But essentially, let's say that neighbor who was passing in front of your house, he came in. Let's say he bought this kit, which is one of my favorite kits with our foundational nutrition products and the top selling essential oils. You would earn 20% of this PV amount, so $44 for referring him to buy that kit. Then if he gets really excited, he goes home and he talks to his daughter, and his daughter decides to buy a kit. He would earn $44 and you would earn $22 because you supported him, you got him set up, you taught him how to find his referral link and send it out. Okay. Then the third level, you earn 5%. So you would earn $11 on the third level of referral. So that's 35%, 35% of every initial sale that gets paid out to the three people closest to the sale, closest to those who did the work, right? Um, that's our acquisition bonus. Then we have our retention bonuses, which here we have the power of three bonus. When you create a pod, a group of loyal customers. So let's say people that you've referred in the past 3 months. Let's say that of those people, 500 or five of them each buy 100 in US dollars or volume, like we call it, and you have 500 in loyalty volume. You're going to get a $50 bonus. Okay. And there's a way, depending on your country, where you can double, everyone can actually double this level. And those of you who are brand new, it's automatically doubled for you because all of your volume is new people. So pretty amazing. You get $100 where we get 50. Awesome. Then as you start to build a team, okay, and you help your team, this is duplication and retention, you help your team to create groups of 500 in customer volume. It could be one super customer that's buying 500 a month. That happens all the time. Or it could be 10 customers that are ordering 50. But you have that 500 in place under three people, and you're going to get a $250 bonus. Now, in many countries, you can also double or have this 50% higher depending on the country. And so, check with the person that invited you here today and ask them, hey, how would I earn 50% more? Or how could I double that first and second level of that bonus Matt talked about? Yeah, people are saying in the chat here, most affiliates is like 10% on one sale. Yeah, this is so much stronger. Then on the third level, you can actually earn $1,250 per month. Okay. I want to see in the chat, has anyone earned the 1250 bonus or the 250 bonus or the $50 bonus? Yeah, plus the boost. I'm being conservative here because we have people from different markets and the boosts are different in different markets. So which level have you earned? Show me. So Pam has earned the third level. Sophia's got the 250 plus the boost. Amazing. Dr. Janet's got the 250 every single month. Paula 1250. Okay. So think about it, guys. Like that's more than enough to have. That's like a really nice car payment or even a mortgage payment for a lot of people. If you locked in your mortgage, when interest rates were lower. I'm jealous of you. Us millennials, we didn't, we weren't as lucky, but hey, it's a really significant bonus, really significant bonus. Now, we also in our retention category, we have the unilevel bonus, which you earn 3 to 7% on every order that's placed until the customer stops ordering for beyond the end of your life. Okay. So, and that's an average of, what, 5.5% of every customer that's coming into these 7 levels of your organization. That's extremely, extremely powerful, and it stacks up over time. I will say that two things, if you're familiar already with this industry, two things that should stand out to you is the percentages go up. So you earn more as you build a bigger team. Usually it's the opposite, and it only pays half as much when it's the opposite. And also, this creates a culture of team collaboration. Because let's say I have a leader that I sign up in North Carolina, okay? And they're right here in my organization. Well, I could sign up, when I sign up a new customer, I could either put that new customer directly under myself or under, on my second level where I earn 3%, or I could put my new customer here under my existing member where they benefit and I can earn a higher percentage, 5 or 6 or even 7%, right? So this model creates a team culture of collaboration instead of competition. It's really, really fun. And then the last thing that we get paid for, like I mentioned, is duplication. Okay. Duplication is your ability to become a leader and lead a team. And it takes time to do this, but the rewards are huge over time. So you can earn, when you hit Premier, you get a share of this empowerment pool. These pools altogether, it's 8% of the global revenue of this multi-billion dollar company that they separate out every month to these leaders. So I've put conservative numbers below of about what I've seen this be recently. And again, these are conservative. It's usually a little bit higher, but as a premier, about 200 US dollars. As a silver, about 350 each month. As a gold, about 1100 every month just from this one bonus. The platinum bonus, which has gone up significantly with some changes we had in June, is 2100. Our platinums are loving that. Diamonds, it's about 3500 every single month. If you work really, really crazy and you become a blue diamond, over 10,000 every month just from this one bonus, and presidential 26,000. Now, all of these bigger levels, they take time to achieve, but you've seen here in the chat people at literally every single level that we've talked about here today. So just to summarize, I've created kind of a plan here that I wanted to show you of what I would do if I were you and just getting started today, and what could be on the table for you financially if you follow this model of activity yourself and duplicate this with your team. Okay. First of all, I really recommend setting a goal of personally bringing in 5 new customers per month. Okay. A little more than one a week. I think that if my daughter can go out and, get a couple dozen customers in 2 days, I think that you could get one a week. All right. So you bring in 5 new customers a week and you maintain that pattern forever. If you want to continue growing, I recommend that that's kind of the minimum level of personal activity that our team teaches. Okay. Then you want to also have at least 500 in loyal customer volume from people that have joined in previous months. And you want to find 3 people who like the idea of getting their own products paid for and maybe doing the same thing that you're doing. If you do this, here's what happens. That 5 new customers is 500 in sales. That 500 from previous customers, you've got a total of 1,000 in sales. You're going to earn 200 US dollars. Okay. You're going to earn 20% total of that amount. 100 from the fast start bonus and 100 from the power of 3 and the boost. Okay. Then goal 2 is to maintain that same rhythm of 5 new customers per month. Now get a little bit extra loyalty volume, and this is going to help you with our boost for the second level of the power of 3 bonus, and help 3 people achieve goal 1. Do you think you could help 3 people do 1,000 in sales in a month? Absolutely, you could. They're going to be earning 200 each and be super happy that their products are totally free and paid for now. And extra because you only have to buy $100 per month to qualify for these commissions. So even that first goal, you're in profit. Okay. You help 3 people get into profit and have their products coming in for free. And here's what you could earn: $250 in fast start bonus if you follow exactly this scenario, 500 from the power of 3 bonus and the boost, and 125 in unilevel for a total of 875 as an elite. Okay. Now, this is not a promise that if you hit elite, you're guaranteed to earn this income. If you don't structure strategically, then you could earn 300 or 400 as an elite. That's actually the average that I showed you before is 400 to 500. But I want to show you that if you're strategic, $800 is on the table for an elite if you're actively working and if you're strategic in the way that you do it. Okay. Then the third goal that I would set if I were you, and I would do it as fast as you can, set a timeline for yourself, but you continue having 5 new customers per month. Now maintain 800 in loyal volume and help 3 people achieve that goal number 2. So they're each elite. Maybe they're earning 400 to 800 US dollars a month, depending on what their structure looks like. Here's what you could earn: 500 from the fast start bonus, 1,500 from the power of 3, 375 from the unilevel, and 350 from the silver pools. Okay. That's $2,700. That starts to become life-changing for most families in America, in Canada, in China, wherever you're watching from. Okay. Now, again, the average silver, the first time you hit is about 1,200. So it might take you some time to work up to this amount, but this is what's on the table if you're strategic as you work to become a silver level leader. Okay. So that would be my roadmap. And you can go back and watch this recording again over time. But the biggest lesson for this introduction is just to focus on these three activities. You're going to get paid for acquiring new customers, for retaining those customers, and duplicating and building a team. And really, the sky's the limit on what you can achieve if you decide to lock in and do this with us. Now, to end in our last, 5 minutes of this call, I always like to end going back to impact because you can make all the money in the world, but if you're not having a deep impact in a large number of people's lives, then I think you're selling your potential short, right? And one of the ways that we create the deepest impact through doTERRA is with our co-impact sourcing. And it's one of the things that I am the most passionate about. And the reason why I'm doing this call is because many of you are not even connected to me in doTERRA. You're not on my team, but I want more people building the doTERRA business because it means that we're impacting the world in a larger way. And let me show you how. Many of our essential oils come from developing countries where instead of buying up commercial farms like everyone else does, we partner on the ground with small scale farmers, and we do this to preserve agricultural traditions, and we do this to pay these farmers 5 to 10 times more than they were earning before they started producing or collecting the raw material for the oils. And I've had the honor of seeing this in person, going into the Amazon jungle and seeing the trees, the copaiba trees, where these people are collecting and harvesting that copaiba, where before they had to trade it for food and they wouldn't even get financially compensated. And now they're earning an amazing livable wage in their region. I've seen this in Guatemala, in the hills of the cardamom fields, where they're growing cardamom on the hillside. You need the shade, and it's really cool the way they do it. But it's over 5,000 people that we support just through cardamom, which is not a top selling essential oil, right? And total, it's over 120,000 jobs that are provided from the sourcing side of our products. It's not an exaggeration to say that when you buy or sell an essential oil, it is a humanitarian act. Okay. That's one of the things I love the most about what we do. We also are doing this in a sustainable way where we're honoring the earth. We actually have created the largest reforestation project in the world in Hawaii. And this is just one example of many, many ways that we are working sustainably to make sure that, that this is benefiting the planet in a positive way. Just on a personal note, my favorite trip that I've ever taken with doTERRA was to Kenya, where I met this man named Samuel. And you drive into Lunga Lunga in Kenya, this region where there are thousands of people that are growing the raw material for our essential oils for doTERRA. And it's a stark difference. Like, it's extreme poverty. It's one of the poorest places in the world. And then when you get into the region where, people are growing plants for doTERRA, the houses start to change. It's almost like energetic. Like you go into this different part of Africa, and the more product we can sell, the more people we can hire, where we're not even hiring them, we're actually contracting with them. They get to buy their own plot of land and have ownership instead of just working the fields that we, like commercial farms do. We're giving them ownership so that they can grow and expand and develop and get paid so much more. So when I met Samuel, we spent an afternoon working in his field, and he has this small plot of geranium. And it's amazing to me that this small plot of geranium pays for his oldest daughter to go to college, the first person in history in his family to go to a university. And his youngest sister, or his youngest daughter, is in school. And him and his wife have this simple but beautiful home that they live in. And it's thanks to this geranium field. Okay. And to this day, it makes me really emotional. Geranium was never an essential oil that I really talked about because the women love it and it's got lots of benefits, but I've never liked the smell and I've never had a lot of use. I've never done a lot of personal usage of it. Okay. In fact, I would tell you it was like, after maybe spikenard, it was maybe my least favorite essential oil. So you don't have to love the smells for them to bring you benefit, but it was one of the ones that I didn't like. And I'll tell you that since having this experience, I sell more geranium than maybe anybody. I talk about geranium in every single interaction that I have with a customer or every call that I do, because I want Samuel to continue to prosper. And I want more and more and more of these stories like we're creating in Kenya with these 5,000 farmers just in this region alone. Okay. It's a really beautiful thing. The impact is profound. And so when I talk about doTERRA and I invite you to this opportunity, I want you to know that the world needs you. There are major, major problems in the lives of millions of people around you in their health. You can impact them on a deep level. There is so much poverty in the world that we can shift. Imagine if we can, instead of 100,000, imagine if we can get to a million. Imagine if we could get to a million farmers and all of their family will have food on their tables because we are doing this service to humanity. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to be a part of. So, if you're looking for a way to increase your income or better your lifestyle or create a deeper and a broader impact in the world, I personally cannot think of a better opportunity than doTERRA. That's the reason why I have committed the last 13 years of my life to doing this with zero distraction, with zero moving my attention to diversify or do other things. No, I am all in with this amazing opportunity because of the balance of these three things that it's created in my life. Now, just to create and have a little bit of fun, we've decided this month that even if you're not connected to us and our team in doTERRA, I want you to know this is still for you. We're doing a giveaway this month where anyone who joins doTERRA within 24 hours of this call, and we can see through doTERRA when you joined. Okay, if you join within 24 hours of this call here tonight, and it doesn't have to be buying a huge kit of products. Just buy the kit that makes the most sense for you. Talk to the person here today. Tell them what you liked the most. They're going to reach out and say, "Hey, what did you like the most?" And there you might share a few different product categories or things that you're looking to solve for yourself and test out the products for yourself. That's step number one is just to trial the products. And if you get benefit from them, then start to share them, right? I know you will. You've seen from the chat the amazing stories that we're creating here on Zoom. With all the people that are here live. So if you join within 24 hours, I want you to take a screenshot or take a picture of this QR code and this link. You'll go to this form, fill it out. We've already had dozens of people join so far this month. And you're going to get one entry into this giveaway if you join today within 24 hours of this call. Okay. Now, if you bring someone, I'm doing the same call twice next week. The last Thursday of January, we're going to do this two more times. And if you bring someone to that call and they get excited about this and they join you, they're also going to get an entry into the giveaway. And we're going to give you five more. You can fill out the form again for each person that you refer to join doTERRA from the next call. Okay. So we want you to come back next week and have as many people as you can on the call with you. It's going to be an amazing, amazing thing. And it will be after that, we're actually taking a couple weeks off of this call because I'm going to be in Africa and we're going to be doing some work in South Africa. So, that's just a special offer for all of you. I hope that it will be that just kind of a fun thing that helps tip you over the edge and decide that you're going to join within 24 hours today. And I know that if you do, you're either going to become an extremely passionate customer who loves the products, or you'll share the products casually and earn your products for free and earn a little bit of extra income. Or you might just become like me and my wife and earn an extraordinary income and have an amazing lifestyle because you fall so in love that you cannot stop talking about this amazing wellness revolution that is doTERRA. So come be a part of this opportunity with us. Balance these three aspects of your life. The next step for you is to talk to the person that invited you to this presentation. Tell them what you like the most and get all of your hard questions answered. Don't hesitate to ask the hard questions. Ask them, what do I need to do? What is it going to look like? Do you have any ideas for how I could sell this? And they're going to have so much experience to be able to walk you through exactly the answers that you need to feel the confidence to get started. So get back with the person who invited you. And for me, it's been an honor and a pleasure to present this information to you tonight that so dramatically changed my life. I hope you have a lovely evening or morning if you're in China, or that you have a great time, or morning in Australia too. Hello to the Aussies. And it's been great to be here with you guys. Have an amazing night, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.